1. Australia is a country and a continent. Did you know that Australia is both a country and a continent? Located in the southern hemisphere between the Pacific, Indian, and Southern Oceans, it's the only country on Earth that spans an entire continent, often called the island continent. Being so vast, Australia is rich in natural resources and has plenty of agricultural land. But it's important to note that 81% of the country, or continent, is its legendary outback. 2. Australia has some of the world's whitest sand. Nothing beats sunbathing on a white sandy beach, and when it comes to Australia, get ready for some sparkling white sands. According to a recent study, Lucky Bay, roughly a 45-minute drive from Esperance in Cape Le Grand National Park, has some of the whitest sand in Australia. But it's far from the only pristine place, with contenders also in Queensland, Victoria, and New South Wales. Why not add a beach break to your bucket list? 3. The capital of Australia is Canberra. There's no denying that Australia's biggest and most recognizable cities are Sydney, Perth, Melbourne, and Brisbane. But, perhaps surprisingly, Canberra is the capital of Australia. Following a lengthy discussion over whether Sydney or Melbourne should take the title, a compromise was finally reached. A new city would be built. It was agreed that Parliament would sit in Melbourne until a new dedicated city was built. But the new site would be in New South Wales, the same state as Sydney. Canberra now resides in an area known as the Australian Capital Territory in the southern region of New South Wales. Although smaller than its neighboring cities, Canberra is home to many bustling brewpubs, family attractions, museums, and historical landmarks just waiting to be explored. 4. Wild, ground-dwelling kangaroos are only in Australia. What springs to mind when you think about Australia? A kangaroo? We thought so. But did you know these marsupials are indigenous to Australia? Tree kangaroos aside, which also live in parts of Papua New Guinea, you can spot ground-dwelling kangaroos in small groups, or mobs as the Australians would say, on Australia's beaches and jumping around vineyards and wide-open spaces. They are not, however, the only species unique to Australia. Hop on over to the land down under, and you'll also find the likes of the friendly quokka, the echidna, and the platypus, to name a few. Australian holidaymakers aren't the only ones who love this country's sprawling beaches. Kangaroos also regularly visit them. Kangaroos around Western Australia's Cape Le Grand National Park love spending time on Lucky Bay with its immaculate white sand and crystal-clear waters. And in Queensland, you'll spot wallabies, a smaller, similar-looking marsupial, congregating on Cape Hillsborough National Park's beach at sunrise or sunset. 5. Australia was discovered by a European explorer, while indigenous Australians had lived on the continent for thousands of years. Australia's first recorded discovery was a European explorer named Willem John Soon. In 1606, he landed near the Pennefather River on the western side of the Cape York Peninsula and mapped out around 300 kilometers of coastline. A Dutch sailor and explorer, Dirk Hartog, then discovered and charted a section of Western Australia's coast 10 years later. 6. Why is Australia called Down Under? Australia is known worldwide as Down Under, but why? Well, it's thought the phrase was first used back in the 1800s simply because Australia is located south of the United Kingdom and other countries. This is especially obvious when looking at a map or globe. So, the name Down Under simply refers to Australia's position beneath or under the equator in Earth's southern hemisphere. 7. The word Zelfie was invented by an Australian University student Nathan Hope's post on Carl Kruselnicki's forum on Friday, the 13th of September 2002, was the first documented use of the word selfie, short for self-portrait. He shared a picture of himself that he'd taken showing stitches in his lip. Australians are famed for shortening nouns, such as Barbie, a barbecue, so it isn't surprising they invented this popular now worldwide term. 8. Australia has over 60 wine regions. Renowned for its breathtaking scenery, lively culture, and legendary attractions, we mustn't forget Australia is also celebrated for its wine. A varied climate combined with rich soils and creative techniques puts Australia in a world-leading position in the industry. Over 60 designated wine regions are here, stretching over a jaw-dropping 160,000 hectares. You'll find vineyards in Tasmania, South Australia, Victoria, Western Australia, New South Wales, and Queensland, each area boasting a distinct flavor profile. 9. Around 87% of Australia's population lives by the coast. That's right, around 87% of Australians live within 50 kilometers of the coast. It's easy to see why this country promises a laid-back feel when almost everyone lives by a gorgeous beach. This is particularly prominent in cities like Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane. Australians enjoy ocean views, glorious beach days, and a wide range of amenities and employment opportunities by the shore. 10. The Australian Alps receive more snow than Switzerland. The beautiful Australian Alps cover 1.6 million hectares across New South Wales, Australia's capital territory, and Victoria. In winter, more snow falls in the Australian Alps than in Switzerland. Families love sliding down the snow-covered slopes on a sledge, whereas adventure seekers go rafting, canoeing, skiing, and more.